everyone, I'm Emily, and today I would like to share a nursing Saladov, my hero, and she is a human rights fighter in Iran. So this is my table of contents. The first part, I will give the introduction. So why nursing Saladov, why she is my hero, and why she deserves the title. And the second part is about the main discussion. We will see a glimpse into her life and the things I respect her. And the third part, conclusion will be made, and the fourth part is about the QA session. So let us take the picture first. So there are four women and stand on the chair or some other else, and they remove their hijab and to show their hijab to the passengers. Yes, so this is the movement against they want to fight for women rights in Iran. And so there are also other things like the movement want to free Iran, or yes, this is also another movement to pursue the women rights. So I would like to talk about the Iranian Revolution in 1979. This is the really complicated issue. So it is resolved from like different changes in regime or other like the oil crisis, the economic background such as the gap between the rich and the poor. But today I will not focus on these complicated issue. I will only focus on the woman rights. So before 1979, actually the women in Iran have better educated than men. So in the university, above 60% of the students are women. So as we can see in the left part, women can really enjoy their life. They can have picnic on the ground, or they can conduct experiment. They can shop, and also from pilots, from engineers to another fields, there are a lot of women. It's really excellent. However, after 1979, so a lot of law restricted women rights. So actually, they work on the street. They need to have their permission, and they cannot travel without the permission of their husband, or they need to wear the hijab. So yeah, there are a lot of restriction, and they cannot like work a certain job. So it's a violation for women. So that's the differences. So that brings us to Narsin Saladov, my hero. Now, she wants to she's a lawyer and she wants to pursue woman rights, and she get arrested in the prison for several times, and it's really miserable. But she is the hero of the Iran. So this is the picture of the magazine, and she's in prison, and another picture on the newspaper. So why I will choose Nursing Saladov? I think because the justice, equality, and the courage and determination and her love toward everyone is the reason why I will choose her. So that brings to the next main discussion. This is the life story of Nursing Saladov. There are five key terms that will define her role. So she is a lawyer, she is an activist, she is a prisoner, and she is a wife, and also she is a mother. So this is the timeline. Actually, in 2006, there is the movement like women from all backgrounds. They came together and in the basement. They talk about all the problems that the woman movements face, the crisis face in Iran, and so they think that a lot of women think that to achieve human right, it's necessary to achieve the woman's rights, and also this is not there was no ideological or a religious or a public agenda. Their only demands were human rights and equality before the law. So like a few women started a campaign to gather 1 million signatures to protect laws against women, and then present to the parliament or the president at that time. And in 2009, there is a protest movement against the elections. Actually, at that time, a lot of Narsin Saladov's friends are getting arrested, or they are confined, or their office are being locked down or confiscated by the government. So Narsin Saladov represent all of these cases, and she wants to have a conversation with the government, but it's failed. So she got arrested in 2010. That is her first arrested, and during her time in prison, and she she confined in a notorious prison in Iran, and she launched for a hunger strike for 3 times. Yes, and because a lot of people protest and they launch a campaign like free nursing Saladot. So actually she went out from prison, but she keeps she keeps launching the movement. And so I will mention another thing. So she also got to the prison another time and is sentenced for 38 years. So her life is, I think it's really miserable, but I really admire her braveness, her brave. So the first thing I really respect her is about justice and equality. Since we all know that the situation in Iran is the human rights crisis is really serious, so it is hard for people to fight against government, especially for women. But she fight for women rights and human rights for decades. And so there are a lot of extensive charges. Like the first time she got into prison, she's being charged for like the crisis for human rights activities, acting against national security, propaganda against the regime. And the second time she go to the prison is be charged for encouraging immorality and vices, removal of the hijab in public places, and the public presentation of sinful acts. So actually, she did the right thing, but she get arrested for a long time. But she is not afraid of it because she has motivation to pursue justice and equality. And so she also encouraged younger generations to pursue their own future by themselves. So, for example, like the compulsory hijab has been present for the government effort to control what woman can do, one and woman can think. But she and other few women, they actively stand on the podium and removal of their hijab because they want to say that they have their own awareness. They want to raise awareness among the public, and they also want to encourage women to fight for themselves. So I think the motivation for her to pursue justice and equality is the one that I respect. And the second part is about the courage and determination to, yes, and so she is not afraid of being arrested, as I previously mentioned. So actually, her physical condition is deteriorating because she had the hunger strike for 3 times, and I think for me it's impossible to do that, but she think it's necessary. So I remember a important conversation, like some journalists or other people asked her that why you would like to sacrifice yourself. Do you see a brighter future or a bleaker future, and why do you want to do that? And she say that it's not about brighter future, a bleaker future. It's just about the movement, and if this movement succeed and it's very good. But if it's not, it's the foundation of the future movement. So she is the pioneer and she wants to encourage. And yeah, the courage and determination is the one that I cannot do that, but I respect her. And the third part is about her love toward everyone. So I would like to show the 3 letters she write to her children. So I will give the small reading time. So like the first time he is in prison and she write to her child like, "Hello, my dear Miss Nima. Writing a letter to you is very difficult. How do I tell you where I am when you are so innocent and too young to comprehend the true meaning of words such as prison, arrest, sentence, trial, and injustice?" So, like, mommy, are you coming home with us today? How can I tell you that I'm in prison? So, yes, these 3 letters are uh, these kind of feeling. A mother is guilty for her child because she cannot accompany her childhood. And so, because I'm the sentimental person, so I think it's really touching, and I'm really sorrowful about that. But I also think that nursing is really her love to is being the best mother she can be by showing her children that truth and justice are principle worth fighting for, and that being a good mother doesn't mean choosing between your values and your kids. So like her kids forgive her mother because her kids also think that her mother's movement is really great, and she is not only pursue the young to pursue a better future for the younger generation. It's also include themselves. So yeah, so her love toward everyone is really great. So, what nursing Saladat said really impressed me. So she said that, of course, I'm optimistic for the future. I have no doubt that equality will prevail because without equality, you cannot have peace and love, and without peace and love, life is empty. So that's what her said, and her life is just like a journey, and yeah, it's fantastic. So the conclusion, I will give you guys see some like Malala, and yeah, like the Martin Luther King, and like the Rosa Parks, and like Nelson Mandela. They all are human rights fighter, and they are really great people in the history. And there are also a lot of people also human rights fighter, and they cannot be seen and because they are not famous, but they keep fighting for the human rights in every corner around the world. And so the conclusion is that okay, I think I'm living in a happy family, but I also need to cherish these kind of opportunities, and I will also follow international news. Yeah, so that's my conclusion, and yeah, thank you. And so next part is the conclusion, the QA session. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I think I believe that you all can sense Emily's enthusiasm and admiration for this female activist. Yeah, so thank you very much for talking about this important and brave woman from Iran. So again, I think I would like to invite some questions and comments. So feel free to speak.
Okay, now I'll go first.
Okay.
And Trini last week has also
Yeah.
presented a related topic, right? So I want to ask the identical question, like how do we find the balance between the respecting like religional differences and fighting for the human rights? Like how do we find the balance? Do in your opinion?
Okay, I can only say in my opinion. Just like I think there are some culture like religious principle that we can follow, but like the rights to go to work, to go to school, to yes, to freely travel. I think that's not. I'm not sure that's related to religious part or not, but I think this kind of basic human right is not the one that we can violate. But like every day we need to pray or something like that. That is from my perspective, I think that's reasonable. So it depends on different rights. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. It's a great answer.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Also, yeah, I think it's a good question. Also, I think thank you, Emily, for sharing your reflection on the topic. Good. So, can I have another question or comment? Maybe I can also ask a question. We know, yeah, of course. I think so. After the conservative government resumes power, we know women in Iran have been suppressed. I wonder, so has the Iranian government tried to make any changes to how they treat women since the protest of Saturday?
Uh, I did not do a really complete research, but I know I cannot give a specific example, but I know they have tried to do that, but it's a long way to go. Yeah.
Oh, see.
Yes. But
Okay.
I cannot give a specific example.
All right. See. Thank you.
Thank
Very
you.
good. Okay, I just make a brief comment. Yeah, I think I'm really glad to see that. I think so. You try to choose a very challenging topic, especially I guess maybe you have to do a lot of research, right, to find out about this woman's background, also her contribution. Yeah, but also, of course, I also appreciate the fact that you really try to translate your inspiration, also your admiration for this woman into the presentation. So thank you very much for your wonderful job.
Thank you. Let me stop. Uh,
Right, thank you very
okay, thank
much.
you.
Okay, I think we still have another three presenters. Maybe before we move on to the next three presenters, we can take a quick break. We can maybe take a five, all right? And after we return, we will have Peter, Tyler, and then Nick, all right? So let's take a quick five.